What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. This is showing off my current treasure map teams and how they're currently working in the event. I have made some slight changes. I did make a bit of an error in my own treasure map preparation video. Not the straight prep video, but the one where I showed off my own teams. I completely glossed over the fact that the rare recruits, Mr. 3 and the Alvida, Moji, Richie, Kabuji character, for their specials to work as intended in this event, you actually need a full driven team. So versus the intrusion fight, it's not that bad. But versus the final boss team, I did have a bit of an error in that team, so that has been amended, of course. So showing off how this actually works. Now, if you have Buggy Limit Break expanded, if you have your cross guild expanded with the additional cooldown, this fight is a lot easier for you. It is annoying with the way this character is designed. I did briefly mention it in my showcase video that I uploaded yesterday or the day prior, talking about if you have this character Limit Break expanded, it makes the character significantly more usable, as the EX Super reduces their cooldown by 2, their special reduces their cooldown by 13, getting you 15 turns of cooldown. They have a 15 turn max charge time, which works perfectly. If you don't have them expanded, you need like one additional turn of cooldown in order for the character to work as intended. It's really frustrating the way that they kind of designed this unit, really locking the unit behind having that expansion to get the most out of it. However, my buggy that I have here, as well as I made sure that the friend captain were not expanded to just show how it works with the batch without having the expansion. If you have it expanded, things are going to be a little bit easier for you, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. The team does still work very, very well, as we can use Jesus Burgess to remove the rainbow shield for us on the crew, and then Buggy Crew basically does everything else alongside those new rare recruits. Moving on to the Battle Rush, we start off with Helmo. We talked about this yesterday in my own treasure map team video, but Trafalgar Law, Final Tap Law is amazing for this. His super type effect removes paralysis by 3, as well as attack down by 3 turns, and it also changes block slots into matching. Those 3 specific things that I just mentioned are all occurring on the final stage, so Law single-handedly deals with everything. We also have the support of the Dex Super Type Zora attached to Trafalgar Law, meaning that when we launch the Law special, it also gives us a 1.75 orb boost, definitely not required, at least in the early stages. And we also have Eustace Kid to trigger the super type of Kid. Kid provides, the super type of Law, that is. Kid's special does give color affinity to the crew, so if we need it, we can use it, but ultimately won't be needed. This is arguably the most easiest of bosses this time around, Sandersonia and Marigold, as they have designed this fight to be taken on by V3 Rayleigh. And V3 Rayleigh, if you use him as a captain with the level limit break and everything, they remove, I think it's 5 or 10 turns of attack down. I think it's 10 turns of attack down, which is magnificent, so you avoid that. And then also with their special, you can allow your fighter and cerebral characters to bypass defensive effects with normal attacks, giving you a full board of matching slots, removing paralysis as well, giving you the attack boost and the orb boost. So Rayleigh's special is literally all you need, as long as you have like the right buffs activated on the team. Rayleigh's special, as long as he has the right investment, just single-handedly deals with this entire fight. Moving on to the third match up against Rayleigh boss this time around. So the team that I'm using is going to be with Lilith. This team has had some slight changes to the team that I showed off in my own video. talking about how I was using like a non-boosted Black Maria rare recruit. However, I was, told a couple things about the fact that, you could actually just use the special of Sharky, which actually makes perfect sense. Sharky removes the special bind and also removes the increased defense on the opposing side. We do still have Jinbei on the team because he does have the potential ability of ship bind removal, which is going to be pretty nice. We do have the support of VV attached to Lilith just to make it so that we don't actually have to use the Lilith special, but I'm sure as we continue on in this treasure map, using that Lilith super type to get the full board of slots and the attack boost is probably going to be needed, but at least as for early stages, the Lilith super type is not required. Still need to use her special to remove that attack down, however. And then we can have a look at the final Battle Rush boss, which is going to be versus Boa Hancock. So we're going to be using the Zorojuro, a non-boosted unit, but he will allow us to wave clear the first 2 stages. We also have S-Hawk on the team because he does remove the special bind, and you need someone to remove special bind. Unfortunately, I don't have Katarina Devon, which would work technically a little bit better. And we don't even really need to use the Blackbeard special. We can use the Jesus Burgess to remove the attack down. It gives the full board of slots, gives the attack boost, gives the chain boost, and yes, you could use Blackbeard to get the orb boost as well, but honestly it feels kind of not really required because you just have so much damage with your Jesus Burgess anyways. Plus you do have the super class effect of Blackbeard removing the increased defense on the enemy side of the field, and that's all we need to get through Boa Hancock. And now we get to the final boss, which is against the Seraph Hawk. And once again, using these boosted units, once again, we're going to be using these Blackbeard rare recruits of Vasco Shot and also Van Augur. Now, yes, technically I could get more points by somehow shoehorning in Blackbeard or Jesus Burgess on the team. However, I just felt like it was just a lot easier just to use Blackbeard and Burgess on the Boa Hancock fight. And, to be honest, I'm not really too stressed about, ranking super high anyway. I just want to make it as easy as possible, and this is just a way to do it. So Vasco's Shot is incredibly good for Stage 2 here because he does remove the burn, and also gives a bit of cooldown, so it allows Buggy to get his special back a bit easier, so you don't actually have to use the EX Super if you have the expansion activated on your Buggy. However, I don't, so I do have to use the EX Super plus Vasco's Shot to launch Buggy twice in the same turn to remove the increased defense on the opposing side. But when we reach the final stage, we're going to have the third activation of Buggy, which gives us the chain boundary, and we are still able to activate the friend captain Buggy 2 separate times as well. We also have the Mr. 3 and the Alvida removing a bunch of debuffs by themselves, but this stage you do have to take 2 turns against the enemy because they do have a damage limiter. So you do see on the first turn I just tap once just to get some damage in, hit the limit, and then on the turn after that, the turn 2, is when we can actually finally get the kill against S-Hawk. The secondary activation of Buggy is going to be really key because he does do that 1 million fixed damage through all defensive effects, which will knock out the opposing enemies. Makes things a lot easier when you have that secondary launch here. So if you're trying to build for this, definitely use a Buggy friend captain for this. It's going to make things a lot easier. But that is going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, I'll see you guys within the next video.